My name is Lovisa, CMO of 84Codes, the company behind LavinMQ, and today we're going to talk about why we took that leap. A warm welcome to Carl, CEO and founder of 84Codes.
Thank you.
Where did you and the team find the time to build a whole new message broker?
The reason we developed a new message broker was from our experience with other message brokers that we've been hosting throughout the company's time. With our frustration, how scalable they were, how reliable they were, to be able to give really good answer to our customers. Why is this using memory? Why can't we scale here, or etc. We wanted to have full control of the whole experience. Hence why we developed LavinMQ.
So LavinMQ is a message broker, but how would you describe LavinMQ?
I would describe LavinMQ like a very efficient, resource lean message broker that has support for multiple protocols: AMQP, MQTT, HTTP. Easy to configure, very scalable, and support for many use cases, both normal or traditional queuing, but also message streaming, log streaming.
Was it hard to build a AMQP compliant message broker? What was the hardest part?
No, the AMQP protocol was not hard to implement. The hard parts are the persistence layer, storing the messages on disk or storing them reliably, replication. Those parts are a little bit trickier.
Do you want to tell a little bit about how messages are stored?
Yeah, so when the message comes in, we read it from the socket, then we do the routing. We read the beginning of the message, the routing key, where should it go. We write it to append-only log for each queue. So we try to do as little as possible, not very much caching, etc. in memory, instead going as soon as possible from socket, writing it down to disk without having to copy it as many times. Because that's often the limitation in message queuing, that the memory bandwidth, you're handling or copying the message many times in memory, and you really want to try to minimize that.
I see. Before you have said LavinMQ can handle millions of messages per second, and it's very performant. How does that come? Is that because of what you just described?
I guess so. I can't really say why others are so slow, but it's much about thinking about the memory limitation all the time and the memory allocations. Yeah, how you copy data as few times as possible. Both doing buffering intelligent. So memory bandwidth and sys-calls are the expensive parts often in message brokers. So try to do that as few times as possible. That's how you can push out the highest throughput.
So it means LavinMQ is pretty resource efficient?
It's resource efficient. Resource efficient can be many ways. It's CPU, RAM, disk. We try to, of course, minimize all of them. But yeah, we can handle hundreds of thousands of queues, basically infinitely long queues, because we don't store in a message index or so in memory. When we develop new features or improving features, we always have that back of mind to minimize resource usage, minimize system calls, memory copies, memory allocations, all those things.
Yeah, and LavinMQ is written in Crystal, right? Why did you choose Crystal as programming language for LavinMQ?
Crystal has a syntax very similar to Ruby, and we've traditionally always been a Ruby shop. I'm a big fan of Ruby, and I think it's a very expressive, fun to work with language that reads very naturally. The team that develops Crystal are really good language developers, I feel like, PhDs in language development, etc. It feels like a really professional language. It's small, but really suits our needs. And most of all, it's fun. It's fun to work with. And I think that's maybe the most important. Fun to work with, easy to read.
We also built in the option to have multiple nodes, do clustering with LavinMQ. Why did we do that?
Clustering is, of course, a very important property for users of a message broker. You want the reliability. If a machine crashes, dies, power outage, disk crashes, whatever, you need to have high availability on a core infrastructure piece like your message broker.
We decided to build LavinMQ as an open source software. What was the reason behind that?
It's very hard to or hard to motivate users, customers to use a proprietary database or message broker today. There's so many good open source alternatives. It builds more trust. And I mean, we have built a lot of our businesses on open source, so of course we have to give back. Yeah, for us it feels very natural to provide a lot of open source. LavinMQ is of course the biggest, but we provide developed a lot of libraries, client libraries, whatever, as open source for others to use.
So to round this up, what feature are you the most proud of in LavinMQ?
I think one thing we haven't mentioned is the UI. The UI is first quite intuitive, easy to introspect what's going on in my message broker, and it's quick, fast, and responsive. Works on your phone, etc. So things you would think is quite basic today, but actually, it's not many other or any message broker that does this very well. So it's something we have focused a lot on.
Yeah, and it's also really beautiful. Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.